Okay, in this video we're going to go through the takedown of the 1911. It completely stripped down, all the parts are coming out. I went ahead and removed the hand grips because, well, it's just 2 screws on each side of the firearm and you're good to go. As you can see, there's no magazine in this firearm, so we're going to go ahead and check and make sure that the firearm is empty before we get started, and we know it is. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend getting a mat like this. If you're a 1911 person, Glock person, Ruger 1022, AR-50, doesn't matter what gun you have. My friends at Sear Assembly have a mat for you. They've got just about every gun out there. They've got hundreds of these on their website. In fact, if you go to the links in the comment section or the links below, you'll get, I believe it's a 10%, could be 20%, I can't remember, but there's a discount code in there if you want to get one of their mats. They do not sponsor me, they have not paid for this, but I absolutely love their mats, so they were kind enough to give my viewers a discount. Anyway, all right, let's move forward with this guy and take her apart. The first thing you want to do is obviously take off your grips. Second thing is you're going to remove the recoil assembly. This piece is going to come out first. Okay, once we do that, we are going to slide to the rear and you'll see 2 notches. Okay, there's a large notch and a small notch. You're going to line up with the small notch. You're going to push from the back side. The bolt catch or the slide catch is now released. Slide everything forward. And that's the field strip part of it. From this point, to take the magazine, or excuse me, the safety out, we're gonna, now this spring is under pressure. That holds the safety in place. It also holds the takedown pin in place. It is under pressure, so we'll come flying out. Basically, if you just wiggle it out, it'll pop right out, and you can see my spring popped out as well. All right, we'll put those to the side. Once that's out, you'll see 2 pins here and here. They usually just fall right out. So, oh, sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. And if they don't, that's okay. But we're gonna go ahead and remove the triple spring, as some call it. It's actually called the spring sear. And we're gonna move the housing cover as well. Now you'll notice there's a dimple on one side and a post on the other. We want the post side out. So I'm going to grab a punch. 3/32, I believe, is the proper size. But I don't do anything with the proper size because, I don't know, I've got issues. They're deep in there wide. So we put this on, give it a couple little love taps, it pops right out. There's your pin. And then slide this back a little bit. And once you do that, take your hammer pin out and your hammer will come out. And if you take your safety out, and then your sear is the only thing really left in there, so if we remove the cover the rest of the way, take the sear spring out, and then we can go ahead and tap that. If you notice, it just fell right out of there. And then bang it and your sear comes out. Okay, the next thing we have to do is take out the magazine release and the trigger. To do that, if you push on the left side, turn that screw about 1/4 of a turn, it should come right out. And then your trigger group will come out the back like so. Okay, so that is completely stripped down frame is all we have left. I'm gonna put that to the side and grab our slide. All right, so we can take the slide, or excuse me, the recoil spring and bolt out. On the top here, we want to rotate the barrel catch and lift it out. Rotate that counterclockwise. And then put that little guy forward, and we are going to slide the bolt forward. I keep saying bolt. Barrel. I'm losing my mind, folks. Okay, and then we're going to go after the firing pin. We're just going to push this down and slide the catch a little bit to the rear. Now your firing pin's under tension. Your firing pin is under spring tension, so you might want to put your finger over it so it doesn't launch across the room on you. And there's your firing pin and spring, like so. And then the extractors on this gun, these extractors are very, very tight. I do not know why, but it should not be difficult to slide these out. This one will be difficult. I've done it before. It almost seems like it's a little too big. So let's see if I can. Normally you would just push from the other side and pull it right out. But for some reason this guy is a royal pain in the backside. There we go. Maybe not. Let's try it again. There we go. Come on now. Like I said, this is very, very unusual. Usually these will come out fairly easy, like so. All right, it's going to be a little Dickens getting it back in, but we go through that part as well. And that's it. This is your 1911 field, more than field strip. It's stripped all the way down to bare parts and pieces. So if you wanted to build your own 1911, you can get lower receivers and slides, etc., and all the barrels and put it all together yourself and have a great time. But if you ever really want to do a true deep cleaning, maybe an ultrasonic cleaning, when my clients bring me a 1911 to put in the ultrasonic bath, this is how I take it apart to do that. It gets it clean to like the factory, and then I use the same process with the lubricant to make sure everything is good and lubricated and ready to roll for the next run. So, all right, let's go and reassemble this guy. Okay, for the reassembly, we'll go ahead and start with the slide. I went ahead and, remember I said I was going to put a little bit of lubrication on there, which I did. Put a little bit of oil on here. See, maybe that was why it was so tight coming out. Spread that around a little bit. And let's put that extractor back in. There we go. Again, plastic, not metal, plastic, rubber, anything but metal would do fine. I want that to come out just at, there we go. So it's aligned right there, nice and straight. I'm going to take our firing pin. Remember, the pointy side of the pin goes in. Put that in. Take our stop. Get that started a little bit. And use our punch. Push it down. Oop. Make sure it stays down so you don't launch it across the room. Won't be the first time I've done that. Sure as heck won't be the last. Oh, sucker doesn't want to go in. Man, I am having a day with these things. Let me tell you. There we go. All right. Push it in, pops out, holds it in place. Okay. So that's pretty much it for that. So we'll continue this. We're going to do the lower first, and then we'll go ahead and put the rest of the components back into the upper. So let's move on to the lower. All right, let's go ahead and reassemble this 1911. So the first thing we're going to take is the trigger and the magazine release. The trigger will have a longer side and a shorter side. Shorter side goes towards the top of the gun, and inside you're going to have a little channel right here that this metal part is going to slide into. And so making sure we put it in the proper way, and it goes. Then we're going to take our magazine release, put it from the right side of the gun, press just a hair on the back, enough to support it, and turn that screw clockwise until it clicks, about a quarter turn, and that'll be in place. So now your trigger's installed. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our sear and disconnector. This is the disconnector right here. This is the sear. The disconnector has a flat side. That side is going to face towards the front of the gun, and then the sear will sit on top of it like so, with the curve facing up or to the rear of the gun. So you get the curve to the rear, and you've got the flat flag to the front. And we're going to put this in, making sure that the disconnector comes through the hole in the top, and then just lay it in place like so. The sear kind of pushed forward a little, so let's get him down in there. There we go. Okay, and then from the left side of the gun, Sometimes it's easier to take something and make sure that hole gets started. And then we're going to take our sear pen. There's a rounded end and a flat end. The rounded end is going to go in like so, and it'll drop right in. Now when you if you flip the frame over, you want to make sure you put your thumb over that, because it'll likely come shooting out at you. Next thing we're doing is we're going to take the mainspring. On the mainspring, you'll see this little protrusion right here. That is actually going to fit into a cutout that is right here. And we're going to make sure that it sits on top of your sear. Okay, so when we put it in like so, you just drop it in. I see it's on top of the sear, so we're good to go there. At this point, I'll take the housing and just to hold the spring in place a little bit. All right, next step, we're going to take our hammer. There's a flat side. That's going to go towards the muzzle of the gun, like so. And we put that in. And again, we line up the holes. There it is. And we take our pin, and again, there's a round side and a flat side. And these are all going in from the left side of the gun. And it goes right in, thumb pressure, and it goes. Now you have the plunger here. You got to make sure that the plunger sits inside of the housing itself. There's a little indentation in there that it'll sit in just like so. Okay. All right. Grab our grip safety, put our grip safety in. Grab the plunger and spring. There you'll notice that there's a narrow end of the plunger and a wider end of the plunger. Narrow goes towards the muzzle end, like so. Grab our safety. Oh, at this point, we're going to push that spring up a tad more. And then I'd like to grab a screwdriver, push the pin in, like so. All right. Ride the hammer forward a little bit, and it will be easier to put your housing pin in. Now the housing pin, there's a little block in there, so you're not going to be able to put it all the way. You'll see there's an indent on one side and a flat end on the other. Indent, or the flat end, goes in first. It'll hit. Take yourself the back of a screwdriver or a rubberized mallet. Tap that in like so. Cock it. Pull the trigger. You do a little function check there if you want. Okay, put your safety on, good to go. Safety off, safety, good to go. All right, so that's the assembly of the lower. So next step, we're going to go ahead and reassemble the upper to the lower and put on the grips, and we're done. Okay, let's go ahead and get this reassembled. Take our barrel, make sure the barrel link is pushed forward. Put your barrel in. Your barrel bushing goes in next, and you want to turn that all the way towards you with the slide upside down. We're going to put in our recoil spring and rod. And when you do that, you want to make sure your barrel link goes to the rear. Now, when you go to reassemble, you're going to make sure your barrel link is forward, because as you put the slide on, you're going to have to line the hole up. So you can put your takedown back in. And Okay, so that's back in place. Now we're going to take our Recoil plunger, slide this fella back in, and then turn our, there we go, until it clips into place, like so. Okay, the last and final step is to put your grips back in. Get our 4 screws. Put your grip down. And it doesn't matter what grips you use. There's all kinds of grips. That's probably one of the better ways to personalize your 1911. Get you some nice looking grips or something that's more comfortable. If you like a good full, you know, something that feels like you got a lot of grip to grab there, check out the Hogue. They put out some really nice rubberized grips that if you got bigger hands too, they're fantastic. Then you can get all kinds of wooden grips, different designs, colors, etc. to personalize it a little bit more. And this is the end of this. Voila, all done. All right, the full reassembly. If you want to function check again, pull the trigger, safety, put your safety on. Lo and behold, that's it. So that's the disassembly, reassembly of the 1911. Feel free to give us a subscribe to the channel, help support a small veteran-owned business. If you click the bell up in the top, you'll get notified when new videos come out. We're going to start doing a lot more than just disassembly, reassembly of guns here. We've changed our brand to Freedom and Foodways, where we're going to talk about how to be self-sustaining, prepping, if you will, whether it's natural disasters, civil unrest, etc. Provide a lot more information in that space as well. So stay safe out there and train hard. See you next time.